Hey guys, today I'll be showing you guys how to execute PHP code in your own desktop or laptop. So first thing we need to do is download XAMPP. XAMPP is basically a software that allows you to use your own laptop as a small server, a local server. So we need to download XAMPP. For that, open any browser and just type XAMPP. And yeah, the first link it's apachefriends.org, so you can just click on that link and it will take you to the official apachefriends.org page, and from there, based on your operating system, you can download the XAMPP software. So since I'm using Windows, I'll download the Windows version. So it's a normal installation. You get the installer exe file. You open it and then agree to the terms and conditions, click next and install. And one thing is, let it install in the default directory that it chooses. It's easier, that's it. So let me close the tab, and once you have installed, by default it should be in C drive. So you can just go to my computer, C drive, and then scroll down and find for XAMPP, and here you go, you have all the files. And now, in order to start the Apache server, we need to launch the XAMPP control panel. There are two ways to do that. You can either go to the installation folder and then launch this XAMPP control.exe, which would give you a window like this. Based on the later version, maybe the GUI will be updated, but this is pretty much the same thing. You have this Apache module, MySQL, FileZilla, Mercury, and Tomcat. So another way is just search for XAMPP control panel. So selecting this would also launch the same thing. Since I already have it, I'm not opening it again. So what we need to do is start the Apache module, Apache server, and the MySQL server. A green indication or whatever it is, as long as this part is not saying start, you're good to go. So let's just close this. It's running in the background here. So let's close this, and let's verify if everything's installed properly. So up until now, if you have installed XAMPP and you have started the two services as mentioned, the Apache and MySQL, and you want to verify that everything is proper, just open any browser and type localhost, host localhost. You will see this page. So if you see this, it means everything is installed properly. And yeah, let's go to the next step, that is to how do you execute PHP scripts in your computer. So that's a simple task. Let's close this. Let's just minimize this or close it. It's running in the background. So again, go to the directory where you have installed XAMPP and search for the folder called htdocs. So htdocs, open htdocs, and any of your PHP script would be in this htdocs. So let's say I make a new PHP script. Let me call it test.php. Change the extension. For coding in PHP, I would suggest using Sublime Text. It's very convenient and it's one of the most used text editors for web development, at least. So let's open it and write some PHP. Let's write some simple PHP code. So PHP code is usually within PHP tags, that is PHP. So anything you write in between these two codes is the PHP script that would be executed whenever you open this PHP file in your browser. So okay, so I'll just type a simple print statement, print print HELL hello world from PHP, and end it with a semicolon. Let me save it, close it. Now, in order to, by default, it opens when you type localhost, it comes here, it checks for index.php and it opens index.php. So localhost index.php will direct you to the dashboard page. But if you want to execute your own script, so ours is test.php, so I would just type test.php and here you go, hello world from PHP. It's printing the message that we wanted it to print. So yeah, we executed our first PHP script. Let's close this. One disadvantage is that PHP always, this exam control panel always executes the index.php file. So the priority is index.php, index.html, then any other file. So let's delete this. So by default it checks the directory. If it has an index for index.php, you wouldn't have to type in localhost/index.php. It takes you to this. So by default it checks for index.php and runs the index.php automatically. So how do you prevent that? So you go to exam htdocs and just make a new folder. Let me just call it my code. So over here, my code. So now we can access this directory system through a localhost. So localhost/my code. So it would take you to this my code directory, and over here let me make a new let me make my PHP file, test.php. Yes, I want to change it. Let me, so I actually have, this doesn't exist, so just close this. Question mark PHP, question mark. So another simple print statement, print print HELL hello world following from htdocs/my code/test.php. So end it with a semicolon, save it, close it, and now let's refresh it. You can see test.php. So this is a much better thing. So you can, this my code could be anything, a name of your website, the domain name, whatever, and inside this folder would come all your HTML and PHP files. So now if I execute test.php, hello world from htdocs my code test.php. So it's in htdocs my code test.php. This is what's been executed. Now let me show you the index.php, what the priority. So usually whenever you're making a website, your first home page is index.php. So any web server would go check your uploaded folders or files and it would find for the index.php. So the priority is, first is index.php, second index.html, third other others.php or html. So now if we have, let's go back to my code and say in my code I add another PHP script, say new text document, delete all this, index.php, save this, yes, and another PHP, excuse my typing. So again print thl, this is index, let me htdocs htdocs my code slash index.php, and then IAMCLOVD call WHENUVLOCHOST localhost / my code and semicolon, save it. Let's go ahead and close these two things. So as you can see, my code folder now has test.php and index.php. Let me open a new folder. So I type localhost localhost / where do I want to, which folder do I want to go? My code. And yeah, see, I didn't have to do my code / test.php. It directly takes me to it directly checks in my code if there's an index.php file and then loads the index.php. So that's the priority I was saying. So it's always, it checks the folder. If there's an index.php, it opens index.php automatically. You don't have to specify anything. Say if I want to open test.php now, test.php, and I've opened my test.php file. So yeah guys, that's it. That's how you execute PHP code. So you can, there's the basic steps. Now you could watch some tutorials and then learn more about PHP, the various if-else statement. It's quite simple. You can go through any tutorials. If you have programming knowledge of C or C++, that's good enough, and you can easily grasp all the concepts that PHP has to offer. And it's a very good scripting tool for backend and for backend programming, and yeah, it actually is used for the backend part. So front end you can use HTML, and for the backend you can always use PHP. So thanks for watching, and later.